Ravenswood, a town cloaked in perpetual slumber, was tucked away within a shrouded timberland wreathed in an ethereal veil of mist. Within its confines, a decrepit circus lay ensnared in time's cruel grasp. Its once vibrant canvas of red and white stripes now faded. The massive tent cast an unsettling specter across the barren landscape, abandoned and forsaken by those who had once reveled within its lively enclosure. Within this spectral circus, a jester known as Jingles once held court. Unlike his brethren, Jingles was a ghastly apparition bathed in white grease paint that contorted his face into a grotesque grin that stretched unnaturally from one pallid ear to the other. His eyes, veiled behind monstrous Titian orbs, shimmered with an uncanny light that elicited tremors of dread from those brave enough to meet his gaze. Children who once squealed in delight at his comical exploits and whimsical sleight of hand began to whisper tales of an unsettling aura that clung to Jingles like a shroud. Sinister rumors swirled like vultures around the clown, hinting at unspeakable occurrences. A curious child lured into oblivion's grasp after venturing too close to the circus's eerie perimeter. Laughter that pierced the silence of the night when no earthly presence was evident, and grotesque visages flickering in the shadows birthed by the ghostly glow of carnival lights. As dusk descended on one doomed evening, an otherworldly symphony filled the air. The spectral melody wove its way through the town's deserted streets, drawing the mesmerized townsfolk towards the abandoned circus. Compelled by an unknown force, they found themselves congregated before the dilapidated tent as it swayed ominously under the caress of the nocturnal breeze. Their hearts pounded with fear as they ventured into the spectral circus, their footfalls swallowed by the soft, undisturbed earth. The gloomy interior was a haunting display of derelict amusement, antiquated rides frozen in their final act, deserted stalls blanketed with cobwebs. The eerie silence was broken only by the spotlight's hum that bathed the central stage in an otherworldly aura. Upon this spectral stage stood Jingles. Yet, he was a grotesque mockery of the clown they had once known. His once vibrant attire decayed into pitiful shreds, his face now a horrifying caricature of its former self. His once jovial laughter now resonated through the tent's hollow expanse as a menacing cackle that eroded the last vestiges of their courage. As Jingles began his macabre performance, his movements rigid and unnatural, the onlookers could only watch in horror, entranced by the nightmare that unfolded before them. The haunting melody grew louder, echoing through the desolate tent as Jingles continued his nightmarish performance. His body contorted in impossible angles, his limbs moving with an eerie grace that defied the laws of nature. The townsfolk trembled, unable to tear their eyes away from the grotesque spectacle before them. As Jingles twisted and turned, a figure emerged from the shadows, gliding silently towards the stage. It was a young woman, her steps accompanied by an ethereal glow. Her long, flowing hair cascaded down her back like a river of moonlight, contrasting against her dark, captivating eyes. The townsfolk watched in awe as the woman approached Jingles, her presence commanding and mysterious. She extended a delicate hand towards him, and with a voice that carried both sorrow and strength, she spoke words in a language none could understand. In that moment, an unfathomable transformation occurred. Jingles's contorted form straightened, his grotesque features softened, and the malevolence in his eyes flickered with recognition. His cackling laughter turned into muffled sobs as he clutched his own heart. The mysterious woman's touch seemed to break through the cursed grip that held Jingles captive. A sense of melancholic relief washed over the onlookers as they witnessed Jingles' true self emerge from beneath the layers of decay and darkness. He stumbled forward, falling to his knees before the woman who had freed him from his tormented existence. Tears streamed down his face as he whispered words of gratitude, his voice trembling with emotion. The townsfolk watched in a mix of wonder and trepidation as Jingles and the mysterious woman embraced, their presence intertwined in a dance of redemption. The eerie symphony that had filled the air softened, its haunting notes now infused with a bittersweet melody of hope and healing. As the townsfolk gathered their courage and approached the stage, drawn in by the newfound aura of lightness that enveloped Jingles, they saw a transformation unfolding within themselves as well. No longer shackled by fear and suspicion, their hearts open to the possibility of forgiveness and understanding. The woman's name was Isabella, a sorceress with a gift for seeing beyond the veil of darkness that cloaked Ravenswood. She had sensed the tormented soul of Jingles haunting the abandoned circus, trapped between realms, his true self yearning for liberation. In the days that followed, Isabella became a beacon of hope in Ravenswood. She worked tirelessly to heal those touched by Jingles' malevolence, showing them that redemption was possible even in the face of their deepest fears. Together, they began to restore the once vibrant circus, breathing life back into its neglected corners. As word spread of Isabella's incredible abilities, people from neighboring towns sought her aid. From distant lands, volunteers arrived to lend their skills in rebuilding the circus and transforming it into a place of wonder once again. The red and white stripes regained their brilliance, and the forgotten rides were given new life. Ravenswood began to awaken from its slumber as laughter floated through its streets once more. Families flocked to the revitalized circus, their children's faces lighting up with unbridled joy as they watched Jingles perform his tricks with a newfound sense of wonder and innocence. His once twisted demeanor had vanished, replaced by a warmth that emanated from within him. The townspeople marveled at the miraculous transformation, relishing the joyous atmosphere that now enveloped the circus grounds. However, as the days passed and happiness seemed to have returned to Ravenswood, a lingering unease persisted in the hearts of some. Whispers in hushed tones circulated, questioning the mysterious sorceress and her sudden appearance. Some speculated about the true nature of her powers and the inexplicable manner in which she had freed Jingles from his malevolent curse. Despite the newfound jubilation, a handful of skeptics remained wary, haunted by a lingering sense of foreboding. They couldn't shake the feeling that the eerie events were merely the calm before an even darker storm. One moonlit night, as the town slept under the illusion of newfound peace, a faint, haunting melody drifted through the air. The familiar tune echoed eerily, seeming to emanate from the heart of the revitalized circus grounds. Whispers of an uncanny laughter intertwined with the spectral notes, sending a chill down the spines of those who were roused from their slumber. The townspeople, awakened by the haunting melody, peered out from their windows. To their horror, they beheld a sight that froze their blood in their veins. Jingles stood once again on the stage, his form twisted and contorted in an unnatural dance. His eyes, devoid of the warmth they had recently possessed, gleamed with a malevolent light that pierced through the night. Beside him stood Isabella, her ethereal presence now cloaked in darkness. Her once gentle countenance twisted into a sinister smirk, her dark eyes glinting with an unsettling power. The townspeople watched in terror as the carnival lights flickered and danced in a macabre display, casting ghastly shadows that seemed to writhe and contort, taking on grotesque shapes in the night. Jingles' laughter, once joyous and innocent, now echoed as a haunting cacophony that reverberated through the town, drowning out the faint cries of dismay from the terrified onlookers. As the night descended into a nightmarish frenzy, the once revitalized circus transformed into a realm of darkness and despair. The eerie melody crescendo into a discordant symphony, heralding the return of a malevolent force that had merely been biding its time, waiting for an opportunity to unleash its twisted power upon the unsuspecting town. Ravenswood, shrouded in a veil of dread once more, became a haunting testament to the thin line between salvation and damnation, where the boundary between light and darkness blurred into an eternal dance of terror. And as the night wore on, the chilling laughter of Jingles and the ominous melody woven by Isabella echoed through the cursed town, foretelling a harrowing fate that had returned to claim its hold on the unsuspecting souls of Ravenswood.